Before we discuss the subject of through-process temperature monitoring, it's probably worth us considering why are we actually doing this measurement process. In heat treatment, as you can see from the definition on this slide, what we're doing is we're actually treating the metal for the intended purpose to give it the physical and chemical properties it needs to perform the task it's intended to do in its final finished product. In order for us to do the heat treatment process correctly and accurately, though, we need to have a good understanding of how those metallurgical properties are influenced by temperature. So we need to have an accurate product temperature through the heat treatment process or the furnace itself. And that's where the topic of through-process temperature monitoring comes into its own, because that will provide us with exactly that information. In order to do through-process temperature monitoring, we use a system which involves the following key components. At the center of the system, we have the data logger, which allows you to measure the temperature of the product and or the process using the thermocouples that are connected to it. As you can see on the picture, we have a number of different models of Phoenix data logger, which can measure in some circumstances up to 20 channels. The thermocouples are connected directly to the product, and the system travels through the furnace, monitoring the temperature of the core of the product or the surface of the product, or even the furnace itself as it travels through. Obviously, when we're working at temperatures up to 1000 degrees Celsius or 2000 degrees Fahrenheit, we need some form of thermal protection for the data logger, and that's where the device that we refer to as the thermal barrier comes in. This is basically a thermal enclosure that protects the data logger so that it's not damaged in the process, and it maintains the temperature of the data logger so you can guarantee the accuracy and the reliability of the data that the data logger is collecting. Collecting the data is only half of the story. At the end of the process, we need to retrieve that data, and we need to convert raw temperature readings into useful information. And in order to do that, Phoenix Temperature Measurement provides a series of different thermal profiling software packages to allow you to interrogate the data and make important and sensible decisions based on that data itself. If we first talk about through-process temperature profiling, this is where we're looking at measuring the product temperature as it travels through the furnace. So this is generally either raw material or even the finished product. And we're making sure that we know the exact temperature of that product in all stages of the furnace. In furnaces, you may have control thermocouples which tell you the ambient temperature of the furnace, but they don't give you a true accurate picture of what the product is seeing. Infrared cameras may do the same thing, but they tend to just isolate the readings at one particular point in the process. Using the through-process profiling approach, you get a complete record of the product temperature from start right through to the finish of that heat treatment operation. So as I've described previously, the data logger goes inside the thermal barrier. It's loaded onto the product rack, because you can see here in the application photograph, the thermocouples are connected directly to different products, maybe different positions in the product basket. Or if you've got a convoluted product with different thermal masses, you may attach the thermocouples to different parts of that product to ensure that you're getting a true reading of the product itself. The outcome of the temperature profile run through the furnace is what we refer to as the temperature profile, as you can see here. This is basically a temperature record through the process of what the product saw. It's really the thermal fingerprint of the process itself, and all the information is very invaluable to understanding exactly what's happening to your product in the furnace. Maximum temperatures, time at temperatures, even the ramp, the rise and fall rates of temperature are critical to the properties that product will achieve and the quality of the product that you're producing and providing to your customers. As I've said previously, the thermal view survey or software package that can be provided by Phoenix Temperature Measurement is critical to the operation of the whole system because it allows you to view, review, analyze the raw data, do some very important calculations to understand the data that you have, and it gives you a fully certified and traceable record of your process, which is critical to understanding and improving that process itself. The benefits of through-process temperature profiling can basically be summarized with these 4 points. Firstly, quality assurance, ensuring that your product has the right metallurgical properties it needs to do the job it's doing or it's intended to be used for. Furnaces do have problems now and again, and the profile will allow you in some cases to find the root cause of the problem within your furnace, identify potential quality issues that you may have, and help you prevent rejects of your products as a result of the heat treatment process. Using the data from the profile, you can optimize your furnace both to improve productivity, throughput possibly, but also the efficiency of your furnace. As we all know these days, the cost of running a furnace can be very high. Therefore, everything you can do to improve the overall efficiency and fuel economy of that process has to be beneficial to your bottom line. Last but not least, you may be faced with quite significant regulatory compliance requirements, maybe working in the automotive industry where you're governed by CQI 9, or even the aerospace industry with the AMS 2750. The software and the systems we provide allow you to achieve that compliance with efficiency and ease. Moving on from temperature profiling, an alternative approach to temperature monitoring is that of what we refer to as temperature uniformity survey applications. These are critical in areas of high quality where you are working maybe to NADCAP for AMS 2750 or CQI 9 in the automotive sector. And this is where you are proving to auditors or for compliance purposes that your systems are working to specification. Rather than monitoring the product temperature specifically to get the temperature profile, in a temperature uniformity survey, as its name suggests, what we're doing is we're proving that our furnace is working to specification, i.e. it's working accurately at the set point temperatures we need to use it at, but also that it will be uniform in temperature over the complete working volume of the furnace. So any product in that furnace will be seeing the right temperature in a uniform fashion. In order to perform the temperature uniformity survey, we use the same principle of a data logger and a thermal barrier. But whereas in temperature profiling, we're monitoring the temperature of the product as it's traveled through on the production run, what we do for a uniformity survey is we set up a what we refer to as a TUS frame, and the thermocouples are positioned then over the working volume of the furnace, and they measure the ambient temperature in that furnace to ensure that we're getting the accurate temperature at the TUS levels we're measuring, and also that that temperature is stable over the duration of the run that we're performing. To satisfy the needs of the temperature uniformity survey, Phoenix can offer a unique software package referred to as the temperature uniformity survey software. And this has been designed specifically to comply with both CQI 9 and AMS 2750 requirements, with all of the analysis, certification, and reporting essentials that are defined or documented in those standards. This software ensures and allows you to do the temp uniformity survey easily and economically with efficiency and accuracy. I hope you found the introduction to Phoenix temperature monitoring system useful. Please look out for other videos that are available where we go into more detail on how the system is used and particularly how the software is implemented to achieve the quality products and the successful temperature uniformity surveys that you need.